Alrighty, folks, I'm now 9-1 in my last 10 extra daily bets on my website. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content here today for Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. Happy hump day to you. Weekend's right around the corner. We are halfway there. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into our free content. We're going to start off with the Braves at the Tigers, game one. And that's going to be a 1:10 Eastern first pitch. Atlanta's minus $1.75, totals 8.5. Spencer Strider for Atlanta, Michael Lorenzen for Detroit. Now, even though Lorenzen's been real good this year, he's got only 2 wins to show for it, as well as a losing record. Now, the Tigers also can't hit for shit. They're dead last in the majors in runs per game. They're facing Spencer Strider on the mound for Atlanta, and he's got 121 strikeouts. And even if Strider has problems here today, he is backed by a top 3 hit-producing lineup. Ronald Acuna leads the roster in a bunch of offensive stats. Meanwhile, Matt Olson has the club lead in homers and RBI. Now, Marcell Ozuna's banged up for the Braves. Keep an eye on his status. Meanwhile, Baddoo and Green are out for the Tigers. 6 out of Detroit's last 10 outings did fall under the total. They're also facing one of the best pitchers in the National League in Spencer Strider. Give me Atlanta minus 175, under 8.5. Next contest, Brewers Twins, 1:10 p.m. East. Minnesota's minus $1.10. Total is, let's rewind. Brewers Twins, 1:10 Eastern start time. Minnesota's minus 165. Totals 8.5. Bailey Ober for Minnesota. Colin Rea for Milwaukee. Now, Rea's got a 4.47 ERA, and he does not have a winning record. He's also backed by a lackluster Brewer lineup who struggles to get on base. These guys are a bottom 3 hit-producing franchise right now. They got to face Bailey Ober on the mound, who's got an ERA in the 2s and a sub-1 whip. These Minnesota pitchers have also made it very difficult to score against them at Target Field. They allow under 3.8 runs a game in their own building. Polanco, Buxton, and Gordon are still out for Minnesota. Winker and Taylor inactive for Milwaukee. 6 out of the Brewers' last 10 ball games did fall under the total. They're also 61% to the under against American League opponents this year. Meanwhile, the Twins went 7-3 the under in their last 10 themselves. Give me Minnesota minus 165, under 8.5. Next matchup, Giants-Cardinals, 1:15 Eastern first pitch. St. Louis is minus 145, totals 8.5. Jordan Montgomery for St. Louis. Anthony DeSclafani for San Francisco. Now, Anthony's got an ERA in the 3s along with a 1.13 whip. He's also backed by a top 5 run-producing lineup in the National League on the road. Thairo Estrada leads the club in batting average and hits. Meanwhile, Michael Conforto hits for all the power and drives in most of the runs. Now they're facing Jordan Montgomery, who's got 7 losses on the year already with a 1.33 whip. The lefty actually comes into today's start with a sloppy 3-7 record. Now these St. Louis pitchers have had all kinds of problems keeping runners off the base paths this year. They allow more hits a game than any other pitching staff in the National League. O'Neill and Nootbaar are still out for the Redbirds. St. Louis is 20-13 to the over at Busch Stadium. Give me San Francisco plus $1.25, over 8.5. Next matchup, Braves-Tigers game 2. This game's currently off the board, and we have no confirmed starters on either side. No free pick. Next game, Blue Jays, Orioles, 7:05 East. Baltimore's minus $1.20, totals 9. Kyle Bradish for Baltimore, Jose Barrios for Toronto. Now Barrios he's got an ERA in the 3s along with 6 wins. Barrios also fans 70 batters in 77 plus, so averaging just about a strikeout an inning, a little bit under that. And even if Barrios struggles here today, he is backed by the best hitting lineup on the road in the game. Toronto averages a league best 9.4 hits a game in their travels. And most of that is thanks to Bo Bichette, who leads the roster in most offensive statistics. He's got the fourth highest batting average in the majors right now. And speaking of batting average, Whit Merrifield's hitting 300 at the dish. Now they're facing Kyle Bradish on the mound for Baltimore, and he's got a 4.25 ERA and a 1.36 WHIP. And out of 53 total innings of work, the righty's got just 2 total wins on the season. Now this Baltimore pitching staff allows over 8.7 hits a game. They're currently in the bottom 5 in the American League in that category. When it comes to the injury report, Mullins and Mountcastle are both inactive for the O's, 2 real big offensive pieces to that lineup. Now, total-wise, 7 out of Baltimore's last 10 meetings with Toronto did get over the total. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. They're also 12-7 to the over this year against divisional opponents. Now, Toronto on the other side, they are 75% to the over against AL East opponents on the road themselves. Give me Toronto plus $1 over 9. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Rockies-Red Sox game, 7:10 Eastern first pitch. Boston's minus 230 at home, totals 9.5. Garrett Whitlock for Boston, Austin Gomer for Colorado. Now, I'll tell you what, I have big concerns about Gomer facing this Boston lineup here today. The Red Sox do nothing but pound the baseball, and Gomer's got an ERA in the mid-7s. Now, when it comes to offensive production, the Rockies just don't want to score on the road. They're averaging only 3.7 runs a game while traveling, which actually puts them in the bottom 3 in the majors in that offensive category. Now, they're facing Garrett Whitlock, who's got a winning record in a 1.28 WHIP. But once again, most dangerous is this Red Sox lineup, especially at Fenway. They're averaging more hits a game at home than any other roster in the league right now. Rafi Devers is the league leader in RBI. Alex Verdugo has the most hits on the team. Now, Blackmon, Crone, and Bryant, they are still out of the lineup for Colorado. That is much of their offensive production. The Rockies did see their last 3 Austin Gomer starts get over the number, however, just because he stinks. They also went 5-3 to the over in their last 8 Austin Gomer starts as well. Now, the Red Sox on the other side, they've seen their fair share of overs at Fenway. They're 23-12 to the over in Beantown this year. Give me Boston minus 1.5, over 9.5 runs. And for that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me Atlanta minus 175, under 8.5 in Game 1. Minnesota minus 165, under 8.5. San Francisco plus $1.25, over 8.5 runs. I have no free pick in the Braves-Tigers Game 2. Give me Toronto plus $1, over 9. Boston minus 1.5, over 9.5. Give me the under 7.5 runs in the Yankees-Mets game. Give me the over 9.5 in the Angels-Rangers game. Chicago Cubs plus 1.5, over 10. Cincinnati minus $1.10, under 9.5. Washington Nationals plus 1.5, over 7.5. Cleveland plus 1.5, under 8. Seattle minus 175, over 7. Arizona minus 145, over 8.5. Tampa Bay Rays minus 1.5, over 8.5 runs. With my next and final free pick for the video, give me the Dodgers minus 1.5, under 8.5. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. Now, if you do sign up for my extra daily bet here today, it's only going to cost you just $2.99, and you're also going to get access to that extra daily bet every single day for the next 30 days, absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase here today. But wait, there's more, because if you buy that extra daily bet here today, you're also going to get access to my daily best play every single day for the next 30 days, absolutely free as well. It's going to be included with your purchase. And that's why I always tell folks that chairman package that I offer on my site, it's certainly your best value. It's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single personal play of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast, absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.